you've been in this game for years now, the restaurant marketing game. You've been delivering for clients for years. And I want to know from you, what are the 3 biggest factors for driving sales in a restaurant digitally?
I'm glad you asked that, because it's almost like it was set up. No, we've talked about this before. And like you said, I've been in the restaurant game. I've been working with restaurants for 10 years. And this is universal to a lot of businesses, but this is great with restaurants. So we've got 2 paths that we try and talk to restaurants about the importance of. There's 3 ways. Number 1, to get new customers. Everybody knows that. You've got to have new people coming in each month, experiencing your great product, food, customer service, all that stuff in order to grow your business. But where it gets lost are these last 2, repeat customers and increase the average check. So number 1, you've got to be able to get those people back. And it can't be by the hope or pray method. It's got to be by a very predetermined path. You got to understand who your customers are, which is why I'm a huge proponent of Facebook Messenger, of texting, of email. When people come in and eat at your restaurant, find out who they are. It's not hard nowadays to get somebody to scan a QR code and get their info, so you can get them back more often. That drives the second, repeat sales. The third part is something a lot of restaurants don't do great here stateside, and that is sampling other products. A good example is there's a good pizza restaurant near my house, and I would have never tried chocolate chip cookies there, ever. I mean, we go there for pizza, we eat pizza, we leave. Well, a couple years ago, they gave us an order of chocolate chip cookies for free. Blew my mind.
No, you like them.
Love them. So now every time we go there, we spend $9 on cookies. So before we would spend $30 on pizza and drinks. Now we spend $40 on pizza, drinks, and that dessert item, because they gave it to us and made us realize how great it was. That increased our average check size. Now the big item that I hear from restaurants, I don't know if you hear this on your side of the pond, is that, well, I don't want to get my current customers in any type of promotional stuff because they're already current customers. I argue.
Absolutely. Yeah, I had a conversation with someone today about that, and they were concerned that, why push their current customers through an offer, etc. Because if they do that, then they're just going to lose revenue, right? That was their point.
Yeah, that's the point I've heard. And I'm like, okay, are you losing revenue by them not coming back often enough? My favorite restaurant, which is about 10 miles from my house over here in Kentucky, I never drive by it. I don't work near it. They have no way of reaching me. The only reason I go there is when I remember. Now imagine if 3 or 4 times a year they sent me a text or a message or an email and got me to remember more often. Now all of a sudden I come 6 or 8 times versus 3 to 4 times. That's why you want your current customers, because you want to drive their repeat business. And if they already know, like, and trust you, it's easier to get them back, and it's easier to get them to try something else because they already know how everything else is great. Now they need to know what else on your menu is great that they're not seeing.
Yeah, and also, I mean, as well, if they're good customers, you want to get them to come more. They're the most important people to get to come more, because they're your favorite customers. They're the ones that are prepared to spend money. They're the ones that trust you. They're the ones that are going to listen to you, right?
Exactly.
And there was a bit on there about increasing the average check as well, that I saw. So maybe there's a little bit you could just talk about on that.
Yeah. So by increasing the average check is by getting them to try other things, like the chocolate chip cookie example. I might not have ever bought that. My check might have always stayed at $30. But when they introduced a menu item to me that I would have never thought about, next thing you know, I'm ordering it every time. We eat there probably 10 times a year. So there's 10 times a year that instead of spending 30, I'm spending 40. I see that a lot with restaurants. There's a restaurant near my house that has these amazing pretzel sticks that my kids love. We got a free appetizer one time. It was buy 2 meals, get a free appetizer. We used it. We got a free appetizer. My kids got the pretzel sticks. Now when we walk in, guess what they talk about every time?
Yeah.
Pretzel
you can't say no to kids too often either, right?
Yeah.
But that's the thing I think is so important, because leveraging your favorite customers more is, to me, I think, just like a no-brainer. It's like, they're the ones that trust you. They're the ones that come regularly. If you tell them to try something, it's so much more likely that they're going to spend more money next time, rather than the guy that just came in from a single Facebook ad that only wants to spend $10, £10, whatever it might be. That's going to be much harder to convince them to spend more money, right? So that pushing up the average check of a good customer is easy, but you have to be prepared to obviously give them, you know, something up front to test the water with, right?
Exactly. You got to be willing to play the game with them. They're giving you their hard-earned dollar to come eat with you. If you want to get more of it, give them a reason. Give them an incentive.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's like some of our favorite clients, you know, we send them gifts at Christmas. We send them Christmas cards. We don't send that to someone we work with for a month. We send it to the people we've been working with for 3 years because we like them. We want them to still do businesses, and we're the ones that give them, you know, trials on new products that we're trialing, things like that. You know, that because we know that they trust us, we've got a good relationship with those people. We want to give back to them as much as possible.
Well,
and that's the bottom line.
Today, we just picked up a new client here in the States in New Jersey, and we were talking, and I'm asking questions about what are his biggest opportunities for a victory. And he said, honestly, Matt, if we could sell more of our house wine, it would drive up our average check, but also our profit margin because we pay a lot less for it. People love it, and our profit margin is like 3 times what other wines are. He said, so let's do this. Let's do a very discounted, a $10 bottle of house wine on this visit with 2 entrees. When they come back, when they enjoy it, the next time they come back, they'll order that wine versus another wine, and my profit margins are 3 times. So in that case, he might not increase the average check, but he's going to substitute something in there, get them to try something they might not have tried in the past, get away from this wine to this one. And now instead of him making, you know, $15 to $20, you know, $10 profit on this Chardonnay, he's making $25 profit on his house.
Yeah, absolutely. It's planting the trees essentially, really, and so they can grow. I think that's the important thing. Absolutely. Well, thanks so much for that. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.